is Sims, and we're here with a whole new challenge. Because you know me, I like to just do way too much and rotate way too much, and I just have too many ideas in my head, and I just. Oh, anyway. um, so, thank you to everyone who left opinions on rotating challenges. That's why we're here today with a whole new one, because you guys were very supportive of the idea of rotating out series when we hit a kind of an end of a quote unquote season. So obviously this is taking the place of the Time Lord challenge. I actually did record the first part of Time Lord version 3. Um, so that'll come in a couple months when we rotate her back in. Um, and for now, we're going to go with this one because I kind of posted it up on Twitter. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do this one or the other series that I kind of came up with first. I wasn't sure which one to do, but I kind of got a little bit more feedback like, you know what? I want to see this one. So we're going to go with this one. The other one, we'll see when it rotates in. But now, of course, this is another legacy challenge because what would this challenge be if it wasn't for legacy challenges that we are going to be doing for the rest of eternity? I'm not even kidding. I don't know why. I don't know why I do so many of these, but this is the Solar Zodiac Challenge. So this was written by Coffee. I will leave a link in the description for the challenge. I do that on all of the videos of every challenge that we play. There's always a link in the description so that you can see the challenge rules. That being said, we also know that I do not play the challenge rules. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I don't play by the rules. Like, I break them all the time. Obviously, I'm breaking them right now because, first things first, you're not supposed to have a house. And we have a house, but we have a reason for that. So I'm going to actually just pull up so you guys can just stare at our lovely Sims here while I find my thing. Coffee has a really great backstory for the challenge. I'm not going to read that. I want you guys to go out and read it for yourself because it doesn't exactly apply in this case. I'll kind of just give you the idea that it's basically obviously the sun and the moon are in love, but they're star-crossed. They can't be together. Hello, obviously. Okay, we know that there are times where the moon and the sun are in the sky at the same time, but you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be. They can't hold hands and love each other. You know what I'm saying? They're like opposite ends of the spectrum, kind of. So, in her story that she wrote and in her challenge and her version that she's doing, the sun and the moon are both goddesses that are in love with each other. Obviously, in ours, you can tell ours are sun and the moon gods because everything I do is a little gay. I mean, I know having two women would be the same thing, but you know, all my male Sims are gay. It's really odd when they're not. I don't know. It's just who we are. Okay. So anyway, so that's why I'm not going to read through the whole backstory because it's really beautiful. It's great. I recommend you go read it, but I don't want to, like, it's not going to fully apply because we have two male Sims but anyway, the gist is the same. Coffee actually also wrote the Lunar Zodiac Challenge, which actually kind of flows nicely into this. So I would recommend checking that out. So again, you can find it on her blog where I list the Solar Zodiac Challenge rules. You can go and find the lunar one and kind of see. And I think it would actually be good if you're playing it off cycle, like on your own, to kind of do the lunar one flowing into the solar one. I think it's actually nice, but we already do challenges and it's going to take us 7 years to get through this. So like, we're just going to cut to the middle. Like, and I don't know, maybe we'll kind of combine. I haven't quite thought through how I'm going to, I bastardize rules. It's just because I cheat a lot, so that's what we're here for. And like, I cheated by putting a house. But anyway, so there is like the whole backstory about the sun and the moon not being able to be together. And so part of what the Lunar Zodiac Challenge is the moon goddess wanting to be with her love. And paraphrasing because like I didn't read all the rules for that challenge. You know what I mean? I just want to hear. But if I'm misunderstanding it, I'm sorry, but you can read the things and just figure out where I'm wrong. And she had to have 12 goddesses like that were based off the zodiac in order to free herself from being the moon goddess, I guess. So that was that part of it. So then of course this kind of ties into that with like the solar goddess going and being like, look, I want to be with her and like, whatever. So the whole point is they have to have their 12 generations of the Zodiac. It's a really rough, terribly paraphrased version of the actual backstory. I really just recommend you go read the backstory yourself because I'm not doing it justice. And it's actually really nice. It's beautiful, but again, it doesn't really apply because we don't have moon goddess and a sun goddess. We have gods over here. But what I kind of liked, and when I was thinking about it, when Coffee was posting on Twitter about the solar challenge and she posted a picture of Sims, I don't know why it just gave me an idea. I was like, wait, this is what happens. I see challenges or I see people doing things and all of a sudden just something pops into my head and I'm like, I can work with this. I got this. Wait. And it gives me ideas that come off these challenges. And that's kind of why we're doing this versus other ones or anything like that, because it just spurned this great idea in my mind. And I pictured my moon god. I had him in my you can obviously tell who's who. It's not hard to figure it out. I had him in my head. Like I just visualized him so perfectly in my head. Now, obviously I didn't have all the custom content I needed to make him perfect, but he's good enough. Anyway, I just and it was just so we had to do it. But so the slight difference that kind of with my backstory here is obviously, yes, the sun and the moon can't be together, but our sun and moon gods come from different cultures. Because if you think about it, right? Greek gods are different than, just other god. You know what? I had this in my head and now I'm just like stumbling for words. Like, this is a really great first impression if anybody's new here. Like, this is terrible. Like, just whatever. You know what I'm saying, though. And the funny thing with this is it also made me think of Kamigami no Asobi, which is a really great anime. You should watch it. It's just amazing. Where there's a bunch of different gods in a school and they are from different cultures. You have the Norse gods like Loki and Thor. You have the Greek gods. You have Japanese gods. And I was like, oh, right, oh no, and then this and then that. And it was just, yeah. And so that's kind of what I was thinking, that these are two gods that are just from different cultures. So normally they wouldn't be together, but they are. What cultures they're from, like whatever. It doesn't matter. So anyway, I don't really have too much of an in-depth, like normally I start these and I'm like, okay, I got this huge in-depth backstory and I created this whole thing and okay, let me tell you. And like, it's like a whole part of just telling you the backstory. I don't have anything. That's as much of the backstory as I have. But we'll save that. We'll come back. I really should just re-record this. This is like the worst, like first part of an episode ever. You know what? Who am I kidding? This is how we do things. So the rules, the main objective, so I'm reading this off the blog, is to have your sun moon start the first generation in poverty, build up their wealth, and use the rules outlined for each generation until you've lived out 12 generations, each generation representing a specific zodiac sign. So you create 2 Sims to represent sun and moon. Gender doesn't matter, anything. Moon Sim is able to impregnate or become pregnant. I actually think he should be the one that gets pregnant because I could just see that a little bit more, but it doesn't matter to me. And we have MC Command Center, so we can do that. Even though you could set it in CAS, we just MC Command Center. But, so any traits, aspirations are fine as long as they're young adults, which they are. So you're supposed to take your time selecting your sun sim's name, especially the last name, as this is the last name of all 12 generations, which is why, well, we'll get into that. Anyway, you can decide if you want to start with them married or have a wedding for them. I totally forgot, and thank you for me reading this. Oh my God. I totally forgot I made them in CAS and I didn't make them husbands. And then I put them in the game and I was like, and I set everything up and I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh shit, because I was logged out of my game. I didn't make them husbands. I'll go do that. I forgot. So we're going to have to go into CAS and make them husbands. And then that's okay, because we'll see them in CAS and we could go through and all that stuff. So anyway. You have to move them into a bulldoze lot, no smaller than 50 by 50. We are smaller than 50 by 50. And we'll get to a reason why I trust me, I would love to have used a bigger lot. I just didn't have it. So we'll get to that. And you're only supposed to have 2,000 simoleons and have no house. We have a house. It's kind of a shell, and we're not again, there's a reason for that, and it's not just because I'm trying to cheat and make it easier on myself. Anyway, so you can start in any season you want, but not winter's probably not a good idea, obviously, because you're living outside. But again, we are cheating by having a house. And again, there's a perfectly good reason for it, because when I was thinking of these Sims, I thought of a really great idea to keep going with this. And I was like, I can't not have a, okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to what I've done in a little. I'm just going through the rules here. Anyway, so all of that we've just totally just blown out of the water, but we never start and play the game by the rules. Anyway, so they can have jobs, recommend keeping one of them at home so you can have someone home with the first child. And when you feel you're ready, you can have the first child, the Aries child, and then we go into more information on that one, but like down below. Keep a family graveyard and make sure you keep your sun moon graves in particular, as they want to watch over each generation. You don't have to play with them or add them to the family. You can't use money cheats to increase your Sims' wealth. Well, I mean... yeah, we're just gonna... Well, I mean, we actually, no, I'm really good. We try to get money trees now, even though every single money tree I've ever put in my game has never sprouted, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong or, like, why my game hates me. I don't have it in the, like, options panel where you can, like, buy it as, like, a reward thing. I don't ever... Mine's not there, so if I get it from build buy, it, like, goes into a tree, and then it's, like, never sprouts money. I don't know, so something's borked in my game. If anybody knows how to fix that, tell me. So, the only way to really lose the challenge is not to fulfill a generational task before the generation's heir passes away. Well, I'm not going to fail it, because even, you know me, like, technically I failed the challenge, but technically I don't follow the rules, so technically these are just like pirate guidelines, okay? It's like they're just guidelines. They're not really rules for me. So, that's how we do things. And you don't need to wait for each generation to pass away before moving on to the next. Just know, I like this, though. You cannot move anyone out for any reason. Sims must die in order to free up household space. Play at your own pace. We're on short lifespan, because that's how I play things, because otherwise we'd literally be here until, like, Sims 14. So I'm going to come back in here. Let's just pop into... Okay, hold on. Before we do that. This is the house that they are on. We're in Midnight Hollow. That's why I couldn't. This is the biggest lot in Midnight Hollow. So this is the biggest lot. It's not a 50 by 50, but we can go up, we can go down, we can do whatever. And this shell of a house is, for anyone that's been here for a long time and possibly watched other series, Tangled Roses, which was my Vampire Slaves challenge. I feel really awkward saying that, but you know. Which kind of got pulled off and then hasn't made a comeback or anything. This was the house that we were building. So we did actually start out with, like, literally the basement area. And then I built it kind of up, and we were actually down here in this lot. But anyway, this is my redone game save where I literally bulldozed all the lots, threw down gallery lots. My Sims are running all over, so it's going to be great because I love using the save. Anyway, so we built this up over time. So this is actually modeled after a rundown house that I've seen in pictures. So, but anyway, it's pretty much just the outside of the house. We have a few things in the house to survive, but it's pretty much like but we have to start like this, and we can actually delete their money, and just so they actually, you know what, let's just do that. Can we do that? We'll just start with the 2,000 simoleons that we're only supposed to have. But there is a good reason, and I'm going to go on modify and cast so we can do that. It's because one of my Sims would have died if we didn't have a house because he's a vampire. That's so Eclipsed is our family last name because it's Eclipsed. Hello. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you that. Like, welcome to The Sims 4 Eclipsed, but whatever. Anyone that's been here for a while, am I always like that? Yes, I am. I'm always like this, but am I always like this on the first time we do a challenge where I'm like, I don't know what's going on, and I'm all over the place? I didn't organize my thoughts before I started this. I'm just too excited about it. But anyway. So, Suki is obviously our god of the moon, and Soleil is our god of the sun. See what I did there? That's great. He's an alien. I wanted to have a little fun with this. And that's almost, and it kind of fit, like, I went for a walk and I was like, oh, Suki could be like a vampire. That'd be kind of cool. I'm like, maybe they're all vampires. And then I was like, you're not allowed to move anybody out, and vampires never die. And then I was like, well, maybe one of them's like, oh, and then, yeah, so it just kind of spiraled out of control for there. So Let me just actually make them like, they're not roommates, they're husbands. I'm gonna fix that. So anyway, um, so this is his human quote unquote form. So he's just, and I love the fact that the vampire eyes, when you put like the like full face makeup contact kind of things over them, they still glow. And I just sat there. I think I spent like a half an hour like going through different eyes. Like, I don't know. Oh my God, I love all of them. But anyway, so he is like precious and wonderful. I hate how he does that because it's like, you're supposed to be nice and gentle, like, and whatever. So we'll just go through all of their stuff like we always do. So his formal wear. I do this. We do fashion shows with all of our Sims, just for anyone's new. His athletic. I try to keep him with like darker, like purples, blues, blacks, and whites. You know what I mean? Grays, things like that. He's our moon, so he's more mellow kind of colors, like the cooler kind of things. Got a little stereotypical there, didn't I? Anyway. So those are all of his thingies, and his vampire form. It's pretty much exactly him. It's just, but see, you have to look at it this way. His vampire form is his god form. Kamigami no Asobi is the reason why this was in my head. I can't take credit for this, but like, you know. So, obviously, Suki is the Japanese for moon, but so he's, you know, anyway. So, and something else, I forget, I mean something else, but it's a different kanji, and like, when I was looking up, I'm like, wait, let me just make sure before I do this, because like, sometimes I don't trust my own Japanese knowledge, because like, I'm just new at this, like, learning it, but it said it was, I forget what it is, something else, I'm like, wait, that's not right, so I had to look it up, I'm like, okay, it's a different kanji character, which is just so confusing, but that's a whole side rant. Hold on. Sorry. I had to, yeah, I hate how he does that. Anyway. So this is more of his like god form, you know, a little more oomph to the hair, you know. So of course he's got outfits for everything. Some of them it's got to be a little OTT, right? Like I forgot about this. It had to be over the top, and those shoes do not work, but like whatever. It's his god form. It's got to be over the top, and I just am laughing my ass off. I know that that's not like. I know we had like the kimono thing in the beginning, or technically, is it a yukata? I don't know. I don't know the difference, but anyway, we had that, and now this is a little more Indian style. Whatever, just go with it, okay? It's just he had to be a little more. It had to be a little. Again, over the top. It had to be a little more oomph. You had to have a little more pizzazz in your god form. And, you know, I couldn't put him in everything, except for, you know, a swimmer. Well, a swimmer, they're a little shorter and tighter, okay? So, they had to have a little more regalness to I'm sorry. I saw that in cast, and I was like, I know it's the Father Winter outfit, but I still actually find it kind of amusing. So, anyway. So they're basically gods from different cultures, and they technically shouldn't be together, but they are. So he's a little more kind of laid back, a little more like, you know, easygoing. Even though Suki is, as you've noted, we'll go through their traits and everything like that, but he's a little more of our like, and his alien self. It was really hard because with vampires, with the dark form, you can be like, copy the regular. So he's got like alien kind of clothes for most of his like alien, except for that. Gods are really eccentric in their like athletic wear. Can I just tell you? That's like, I'm not sure why. That's a little, they didn't have a lot that we could go with for aliens. It was really difficult. Like, that would work. We had a lot more stuff that would work for vampires. Like, okay, I can kind of work with this. We got like the different like city living where it looks like more formal and it's got a little more ritz to it and everything, but we just didn't have that. I'm gonna like, we'll go through their traits and everything like that. So The only thing I couldn't think of if I wanted to do is, since it is 12 generations, it's going to take us 12 years, essentially. Because, we have a million things going on. I'm going to let you move and do things. I don't know. But, so, I was going to actually get them a butler, too, and just totally change them in cast so that, Suki had somebody to, feed off of, because I just think it's really weird them constantly feeding off his husband. But, whatever. It is what it is. So he's spiritual. That's obviously a custom trait. He's a loner. And he's a bookworm. So he is really more the quiet, shut in. I kind of just witness things. I'm just here. I'm going to witness things. I take things in. I'm quiet. I'm more reserved. I'm just going to go off by myself. The moon just sits quietly in the sky and just watches you I watch you when you're sleeping. I don't know if I said that too quiet because they seem loud in my ear, but the moon just watches you when you're sleeping, and the sun's more I'm going to kill you with my death rays. A little more, he is a computer whiz. He's a space enthusiast. I mean, somebody had to be, right? And he's outgoing. So, and he also has the Renaissance Sim trait, so where he just wants to, be good at lots of things. And then he has a soulmate aspiration because he's just a little more romantic and things, stuff like that. So, yay. So they have to have the Aries child. We're gonna hopefully get them we might have him stay home. Maybe he'll write. We'll just pretend he's writing books of poetry. We can have him write, he can paint, he can do the gardening type of things. Oh, we actually do have oh, yeah, can you? Oh, shit, that's the only problem with gardening, huh? You can't really garden because it's outside. We might have to build an extension. Oh, no, everything's fine. Okay, I'm going to have you come out here and water everything. Because I can't have Suki come out here right now because he'll fucking die. I thought there was a back door. Maybe not. I don't know. So, yeah, I had built the shell of the house, and that's kind of why we have to have a house, because literally when I started the game and I first put them down or whatever, he was already burning up in flames, and I'm like, we can't have him die like this. So we can have him work on his vampire skills, and obviously. So the part of this that's going to be fun is the fact that you can't move Sims out. So unfortunately, that's kind of why I decided to change instead of doing it all vampires, because that's more fun. They have powers, gods should have powers, right? Soleil being a alien means he's going to die like a normal Sim, which is going to be really kind of tragic because Suki's never going to fucking die. He's never going to die. He's going to be around forever. Which is weird if you think about it, because it's the solar Zodiac challenge, and Soleil should be our one that stays and watches over, and yet it's not. So, again, it just fit that he was the alien versus you know what I'm saying? Although, now that I think about it, it could have worked reversed. Well, too late. It's too late for that now. So, anyway. And I really wanted to get some more of the I know that there's a mermaid mod, and there's a fairy mod, and there's a sorcerer mod, and there's a bunch of all these mods, but my only problem is I looked, and a lot of people were having problems with the fairy mod and the mermaid mod lately, so I was like, okay, I don't want to, and we can't really evolve these because he doesn't have skill. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to have to build, I think, a greenhouse area here that's inside, so everything is sheltered and our plants will always grow, and then this way Suki can be our gardener, because I feel like he would be doing that. So of course they have a bathroom and stuff at least, so, and a kitchen. They don't have a sink though, do they? No, but they have the most important thing in the world, the garbage can that gives us money. So again, I know I started out with shit and we were not supposed to, but so the house is an empty, and it's nice. Plus, then I get to furnish and finish building this house, because this was I built this house. There's a couple pictures of this rundown house that looks like this, and that's kind of where I got this, and then I just kind of figured out. I had it sketched in a freaking no everything. Like, okay, this is the way the rooms are going to go and lay out. Like, I have a hat, like, so this house means something to me. So, plus, like, I'm just really proud because sometimes I build and I'm like, it just looks like a box with a roof. And sometimes I build and it's like, this is actually really cute. And I'm kind of proud of this. Like, look at it. It's cute. I like this house. Like, it's not like the greatest thing ever, but like, I'm pretty proud of it. It looks damn good to me. So, so yeah, so we had to, because otherwise, like I said, Suki would be dead. And we're going to need a real bed. So of course we have pretty much nothing, but he does have a coffin down here because again, so that's good. He's got some place to sleep. But we do need a bed for Soleil because I think I had I had in my other challenge, but a lot of it got taken out because, so we should actually, that's going to suck because, well, we can woohoo in the coffin because I was like, I don't know if we're going to have enough money to get like he needs a bed. He needs a bed. They need I want them to have like a nice bed. We'll upgrade it. But like for now, actually, you know what? This is actually kind of, that could so be him. You know what the funny thing is though? I really like this one. That's like I see Soleil picking that, like, I like the style, and Suki being like, yeah, but we're getting this color. And he's like, wait, but I want like the orange one. And he's like, no, we're getting the purple one. Like, I just want to do it. How much is this? That's like all of our money. Okay, we're gonna have to upgrade later. Okay, you know what? We'll go, that one's better. Oh, that could actually work. Let's see. That one's pretty. Let's find one we like. We could just get a plain one for now. You know what? Let's just use that one. I never used that one, I don't think. But, all right. So now he at least has some place to sleep. And they're really not doing anything. I'm going to have you come down here and like start like learning how to paint because let's just do a large. Because you're going to need to be the homemaker. You're going to be the one. Plus, you're a loner, so you're going to be the one that needs to be at home, like painting and writing and reading and this is a painting that my. I should have gotten rid of that, but now we're stuck with it because if I sell it, it would be cheating. But well, you know me. I'm like, we cheat. Obviously, we have a house that's worth way more than 2,000 simoleons and it has stuff in it and we would never be able to. But here's the thing, like I don't play like my challenges offline. So if my Sims are skilling and earning money and doing all that, unfortunately you guys are stuck watching it. So it is what it is. So we'll just pretend we skipped through some of that and here we go. Plus again, I don't want Suki to die. Like I like him. Like I do. So it is what it is. But yeah, so that's that. I haven't decided if I want to kind of combine some of the rules from the solar zodiac and the lunar zodiac. So like in the lunar zodiac, you have obviously your female lunars. Like, I mean, I guess you could do it with a male, like whatever. And like they have 12 of the things. In this one, it's 12 generations. So my idea of combining it would be like just to make it so that we're not here for 17 years because that's how long it takes me to play through challenges because whatever. Even though we're on short lifespan, if we were on normal lifespan, you'd be 84 years old by the time I finish this and I'd be dead. So my ghost would be playing, which is totally a Sims thing. So that makes sense, right? He's like, look, I know you want to be alone to paint, but like, he's like, I want a cat or a dog. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do they need a pet? What kind of pet do they need? A cat and a dog. I could see Suki being like, I need my little white cat. Just a little white cat. And he's like, I need a dog to play with. House is gonna be bizarre. Anyway, where like instead of like, okay, they have just the Aries kid, like maybe they have. I don't know what comes after. Is Taurus after Aries? I'm not sure. But anyway, instead of like they have Aries and then Aries has whatever the next one is and then the next one is whatever. You know what I mean? Like if they have 3 kids, it's the first 3 generation. You know what I mean? And then one of those then goes on. You know what I mean? Like so we're kind of combining it where it might be a little bit more condensed. Let me know what you think. I do know for Gemini, I have an idea. I have already that much, so that's like the third generation. Like Aries is the first. Well, obviously this is technically the first, but you know what I mean, the first childbirth. I think Gemini is the third one, and I have a really great idea for that one. I was going to, I'll force it. I don't care. They're gonna. The Gemini generation has to be twins, and I have a really, 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 really good idea of what to do for that one. Fair, dude, what are you doing? Fair warning for anyone who's new here. I swear a lot. And I'm not above murdering my Sims and being just evil and having a lot of debauchery. So that's what's going to happen here. So if you can't handle that, then this is not the place for you. For everyone else who's used to that, I mean, welcome to the debauchery. So it's going to get like that because, you know, I murder... Now, these two, I'm not like, they're going to go on murder people. This is not meant to be like starting off dark and evil. But the idea with Gemini might not be like, you know, everybody's like, oh, this is perfect. It's going a little bit on the dark end. And maybe some of our Sims will be that way. But anyway, so yeah, so we might have some darker themes kind of coming in here just to kind of keep things interesting. And we'll see what happens. But again, I don't know if I want to do like, so if they have two kids, it's the first two generations. And then like Gemini, I definitely want to focus on. So I want that to be its own. Actually, it doesn't even have to. They could literally have 4 kids and it could be Aries, whatever the next, I think it's Taurus. Hold on. I'm going to bring that up and look so that like I don't sound crazy. So like Aries has Taurus and Taurus has Gemini. So instead of doing that where now it's 4 generations, it would literally be like Soleil and Suki have 4 kids and it's Aries, Taurus, and our Gemini twins. Because I'm making those twins Gemini. Like I will go in there and I will cheat that. I don't care. Like, I'm cheating that. Just cheating it. You know what I mean? And then we pick whichever one of those is the heir, and then they have the next couple. You know what I mean? Just to kind of, so it doesn't take as long to get through the challenge and we can finish it. Because I like the idea of finishing challenges, but like I have 500 legacies going and we're never going to get through these. So it kind of like compacts it a little bit. So let me know what you think about that. Just kind of twisting it a little bit. And yeah, and back to what I was saying before we wrap this up. We can't take the Sims out of the house, so Suki will be here forever. So it really is almost more of a lunar Zodiac challenge, just with solar Zodiac challenge rules. So, I mean, it's kind of like we're mushing them both together, and I kind of like that idea. But Soleil will end up dying, and so I kind of want their kids... I don't think... The unfortunate thing is your kids can't be aliens. You can only be aliens via alien abduction. So if our Sims get abducted by aliens, that's going to count. You know what I mean? Like if... Stop screaming in my ear, bird. Like if Soleil gets abducted by an alien and has a baby, that counts as one of our generations. Like I don't care, either one of them. You know, it just has to be either one of them having the children. So or like if they have Aries and then Aries gets abducted by aliens, well, that's our next generation, like right there. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking we can kind of do like I like the idea of the combining the two, because then we can have multiple generations too. So like, let's say they have their Aries child and then they also have a Taurus child, and then the Aries child gets abducted by aliens. Okay, well then that's our Gemini, and then they have another kid. Well, that's the next. It's going to be like a hodgepodge and not in no freaking order whatsoever. But, you know, and we'll try to do as much of the rules for each Sim that we can, just to keep it interesting this way. If they do have, say, 2 kids and they're 2 different well, we won't focus on one or the other. We'll try the Aries child. We'll make sure we try to do all the Aries stuff. The Taurus child will try to do all those things. Because we're going to be with these Sims for a while, especially if any of them are vampires, they're going to be here for freaking forever. If they're aliens, they're going to die. I'm pretty sure if these 2 have kids, it's either going to be a vampire or a human. I don't think you can be an alien. But we can go, if it's born a human, we'll turn it into an alien in cast and kind of cheat that in. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll work around that. I want these Sims to have like some kind of power things. Also, I do have the sorcerer mod in there, so hopefully it works. Still, I don't know. I didn't see anybody having problems with it. if they have like a human child, we can also turn them into a sorcerer at some point. That's kind of why I wanted the mermaid mod and the fairy mod. So eventually, if those get updated ever, I would like to put those in because I feel like that would be kind of cool because then we have other supernaturals. If the Sims team ever gives us any other supernaturals, they'll be putting in here. You know what I mean? Like, we'll work with that. Like, oh, if we had werewolves, that'd be awesome. Like, so far, this is what we have. Right? We don't have any other supernaturals but like aliens and vampires, right? Do we? Like, we don't, right? What? Wait, no? Christ. There's things in this game sometimes that I'm like, we can do what now? When did this happen? This is my problem. I don't like explore. I mean, we could be Apache. Like, we could literally like, I'm going to turn my sim into Apache. It's literally just a costume, so it's not like we can do anything with that. But anyway, that is that. So yeah, eventually if those other mods get fixed, otherwise we can mix in, we'll throw in sorcerers here and there so that everybody has some kind of a power thing and we'll kind of play with that. I really, really, really would love if our Gemini twins, one was a vampire and one was an alien, or one was a vampire, one was a sorcerer, and they're two different. Oh my god, they're going to read together. That's so cute. What are you reading? The Glutton Spiel. What are you reading? Point Farmer No More, The Downfall of... Okay, we got... All right, you just keep walking away. You're supposed to read together. And he's like, nah, I don't like this book. Orbital Pudding. Are you going to change book? Stop. Would you just pick a book and sit and read together? Anyway. Also, I yell at my Sims, just FYI, in case you're new here. So if you don't like people being angry or swearing or debauchery, this is really not the place for you. Or being obnoxious is not the place for you. But yeah, so that's that. So we'll kind of work through like the different logistics and like how we're gonna kind of, you know, mess with the rules and things. Because, you know, I do that as we go. But so the next part, I'm actually really excited. I kind of want to record the next part now. I've been really excited for this all week. Like, I can't wait to record this. And now we're done. And I really want... Oh, he's green. Because he's happy. But yeah, so all of our children will be some kind of magical, and the vampires will be here forever, and the other ones will die, and it'll be sad, and I do have an MC command center. I think we can have 12 Sims on our lot, so technically if we got a cat and a dog, we can have 10. So I don't think we'll move in... like love interests or anything like that. I think we're just going to have our Sims like this is their realm. This is where they live and they're like gods. And if they have babies with mortal, like, all of our Sims. So like, let's just say all of their children are boys, and let's say we do it with mixed where they have two kids. It's the Aries and the Taurus kid, and one has a baby. Our Sims are the ones that are going to get pregnant. Okay, not pregnate somebody else. They're the ones that got pregnant. So, like, if it's a male Sim, he's always going to have the baby. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, just for that, so that they're always in our house, and we might not move in their significant others. Maybe we will, especially if they meet another alien or vampire or something, or, you know, we want to convert them. But I might not do that just because you can't really... It really depends how we do this. So... We're not going to have, like, they're not going to have 12 kids of their own. They might have, like, 2 and do the Aries Taurus, and then one of those kids will be the one, okay, and then we'll slowly, you know what I mean? Like, so it kind of cuts down, but at the same time, it's really not going to because it cuts down on the amount of time that we do a generation. So instead of having, literally, we're going to be here for 12 years, we'll be here for, like, 6 years. So, I'm just saying. But anyway, we'll figure that out as we go. And let me know what you think. And this part's been like way over. Again, if you're new here, parts are usually like a half hour. So if you don't like that either, not the place for you. Just saying. It's okay. I won't be offended. But anyway, so I will see you guys next time. Hopefully you enjoy just staring at them and rambling through like random things. And we'll figure out shit as we go. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up. And subscribe to see more.